So Sideshow have announced a new Hot Toys 1/6 IG-12 collectible figure based on the Mandalorian. And in this first look, I'll be asking the question, is this the way? Let's take a look now. Hi everybody, Chris the Geek figure fan here, and I'm taking a look today at a reveal that Sideshow have released for the new Hot Toys figure that's based on the Mandalorian Season 3. And this is for an IG-12 figure that we've seen towards the back end of that third season, when IG-11 is repurposed into a vehicle for Grogu's protection. But there's also something interesting about this reveal. We actually have two different types. You can buy IG-12 with a couple of standard accessories that come with the figure, but you can also buy this IG-12 with a larger accessory set. So we'll take a look at what this figure is going to offer first. So I must say, I think the first question that we've got to look at, or the question that we've got to try and answer is this worth buying if you already own the Hot Toys IG-11 figure? And at first viewing, I think probably not. So we do have a comparison up here, and the paint app does look slightly different, but I think that the IG-11's paint app looks better. But regardless, so this Hot Toys figure still looks incredible. Hot Toys' attention to detail is always impressive. They're a step above your average figure, and the price point shows it, and Hot Toys have been doing this for years. Sideshow is saying the highly accurate collectible figure specially features a highly detailed and mechanical body with great articulations and a cockpit with Grogu, skillfully applied weathering effects, sound effect function that resemble IG-12's yes and no answers, an Anzellan droid smith with interchangeable arms, food accessories, and a figure display stand. You do get quite a bit with it. For me, one of the most fun parts of it is the Ancellan droid smith with interchangeable arms, because they're super cute and I think they're brilliant little additions to the Star Wars universe. I mean, the yes and no sound effects, that's pretty cool. I don't think it's anything that you're ever going to use more than a couple of times. You got a friend comes around that you want to show the figure, you press the button, it says yes and no, and then you stop using it again. So, I mean, I don't think Hot Toys are made to be played with, so the sound effect's probably pretty useless, but I suppose it's an interesting addition. But what I find really, we could talk about this more if the figure was in hand, but I think that anyone who's done a review of IG-11 will probably have covered more than enough about the actual build of this figure. And I think that's part of the problem, really, is that it is so similar to IG-11. It feels to me like it's almost repurposed. And I know that there are structural changes to the figure. I know it does perform different functions than IG-11 does, but when they're both standing in a cabinet, there's only 15 to 20% difference between one figure and the other. But what I do want to look at is the accessories that come with it. And this seems to be causing quite a bit of a stir online, because the additional collectible accessory set does not contain any accessories that go with IG-12. So it seems to me like it's perhaps a new marketing strategy for Hot Toys, where they're attempting to sell accessories specifically with this figure in order to perhaps entice you to purchase other figures or reward you for having already bought those other figures. So we'll just take a quick look first at what accessories come with this set, so as well as what would have already come with IG-12. So on top of what would already have come with IG-12, there is an additional Grogu figure in a sitting posture, and the reason for that is there's a newly designed hover pram with cover. You get two additional Anzellan droid smith collectibles in different styles, so they all look individual. You get Paz Vizsla's heated heavy blaster. You get Bo-Katan Kreese's shoulder armor and energy shield with left forearm armor. You get an Imperial Armored Commando's jetpack, shield, and baton. You get a mouse droid, and you get all the other bits and pieces that would normally come with it. Some of these are really cool accessories, and some of them are really weird and unnecessary. So if I start with the pram, I don't own any of these Hot Toys, but even I know that there are already two other prams or two of the Grogus around. So, rewarding somebody with yet another pram seems very weird. From what I have seen in forums, etc., Paz Vizsla's heated heavy blaster is something that people have wanted, and that looks incredibly cool. And I think that could be further modded in the future. It almost looks like it's lit up. I don't think it is, but it almost looks like it is. I think that's an incredibly cool piece of kit. And I suppose some of these, would look good on their own, even without the figure to put them with. The Bo-Katan ones, firstly, I don't know what's going on with this Bo-Katan mold. I I don't think that's the hair that comes with the standard Bo-Katan, so that's an odd choice to photograph that with. But the Mandalorian armor on her shoulder that she obviously receives in the third season, and the shield on her arm, that's also very cool. Perhaps they've looked at figures that have sold well and decided to accessorize those further, but I think it's more a marketing strategy to try and get you into collecting the Mandalorian figures. If we look at further accessories, the jetpack, the shield, the baton, they're all okay. They all look quite good with the figure, but I don't think they're necessary accessories. I think they're okay. The Anzellan droid smiths are very cool. I do like the idea of setting IG-12 laying down on a table and having these three Anzellan droid smiths posed around him as if they're working on him. The mouse droid, I don't get at all. I don't know why that's there. I don't understand what reference there is to the mouse droid in The Mandalorian. Perhaps I've missed it. And even if there is a reference to them, to mouse droids in The Mandalorian, I don't know what purpose it's got of being in there. It doesn't really fit any of the figures, the aesthetic of any of the figures in this range. Perhaps it would go well with an Imperial officer. It would even fit with a Vader. It would fit with a Krennic figure, perhaps, but not this Mandalorian set. So yeah, I don't know. This is my first look at it. I think any hot toy looks incredible. I'm just not sure about the strategy here. Is this what? So when I ask, is this the way? Is this the marketing strategy for hot toys in the future? Will we see more, ranges of say 4 or 5 figures, and then with one figure from that range, you have a bunch of other accessories that feed the other figures? And is that a way of trying to force you to purchase one figure that you might not want in order to fill out the figures that you do? Because I think if they'd have sold this collectible set separately to the figure, I think it has sold pretty well. I think there are people that would have spent $70-80 just for a couple of the accessories on here to finish off their figure. I'm looking at that heated blaster alone, but I don't know. Is this something that you will buy? Let me know. I'm not sure it will sell anywhere near as well as the original IG-11, but I'm happy to be proven wrong. Please pop a like on the video if you've enjoyed what we've talked about, and consider subscribing to my channel for future reviews and news. It really does help me out hugely when you subscribe to my channel. So yeah, there you go. IG-12. I'm not sure that this strategy will work personally with hot toys. I think people see hot toys as an investment and will pick one figure at a time. And I know some people might be able to purchase more, but I think the general collector has to be quite frugal, or at least quite methodical, quite picky with the figures that they choose, because you can't afford to purchase every figure in the Mandalorian range to have them all sitting in your cabinet, even though we'd like that. But I don't know. Anyway, please let me know what you think. I'm curious. I don't know if this is a strategy that will pay off or not. Yeah, anyway, thanks ever so much for joining me today. Take care. Bye bye.